We wanted to engineer it right the first time. We're not going to make something that doesn't meet our standard in order just to come out with a market demand.
Is this micro just going to be available on other models or current models in the future?
20 seconds a year is the guaranteed accuracy with, the plus or minus. But yeah, honestly, I think it's going to outdo that by far.
So right behind me is Grand Seiko's booth at Watches and Wonders 2025. I just saw their latest watches, including the new one with the new micro adjustment, the new movement, as well as the compact case size of 37 millimeters. And I have an interview with Joe Kirk, which you're going to see coming up right now. So I am here in Grand Seiko's booth at Watches and Wonders 2025. Today is day one, and I'm here with Joe Kirk.
Great to see you, sir.
Awesome seeing you as always.
No, my pleasure.
So I just got to see some of Grand Seiko's new novelties. So can you tell me about them?
Of course. So obviously we introduced what we call UFA, which is ultra fine accuracy. So this is the next generation of spring drive, right? We started development on spring drive in 1977, and since then, we've come a long way. So we went from, the first introduction of caliber 9R was accurate within 15 seconds a month of the 9R6 series. Then later in 2020, we introduced the 9RA series, which achieved 10 seconds per month. Now, 20 seconds per year.
That's insane. The funny thing is, myself included, having experience with Grand Seiko watches that I've owned before, spring drive, the 9R series is super accurate. Even mine was less than a second per day, even though it said plus minus 1 second.
Oh, of course, yeah. The goal of spring drive, I think, is to outperform what the specification is, of course. So yeah, 20 seconds a year is the guaranteed accuracy with, the plus or minus. But yeah, honestly, I think it's going to outdo that by far.
Yeah. So random question. The VFA, that name is reserved for the mechanical series?
Correct. Yeah. So very fine adjusted is referring to the actual adjustment process of the hairspring. And there's many other factors that go into creating and crafting a VFA watch. Primarily, most of them were made in the late 60s through the 70s. But we also introduced in 2018 a modern VFA.
Yeah.
So UFA is more specific targeting spring drive, because the ultra fine accuracy and the kind of differences, you don't have to adjust a hairspring in spring drive. We still did make adjustments, but it's more in how we basically create the oscillator as well as the new package IC. So that's our big step forward in terms of how we achieve this next level of accuracy.
So one of the big announcements at Watches and Wonders, not just at Grand Seiko, but for the whole show.
Wait, you're not talking about the size, right?
The size is another thing too. But Grand Seiko announced a micro adjustment. And the funny thing, it's not the first time Grand Seiko's had a micro adjustment, but it's been on the sports models. But now it's
always required a tool.
And always required a tool. But now it's on it's on the Heritage line, is that right? Or the Evolution 9?
The Evolution 9, correct.
So it's on the Evolution 9 on the latest piece. Tell me about the two new pieces that just came out.
So the UFA we introduced in two models. One will be limited edition of 80 pieces in Platinum 950 and will be on a leather strap, so no micro adjust needed there. But the continuous production model is high intensity titanium on a titanium bracelet, the high intensity titanium as well, and has a micro adjustable clasp that is toolless, and you can adjust in a range of 6 millimeters.
Okay.
So 2 millimeters for 3 steps.
That's really generous for each stage.
Yeah.
I got hands-on with it. I saw that within the clasp, there's even denotions of little markings of how much you've opened, which is really nice. So I guess you could measure each of those, and that would equal exactly whatever that would be.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, 2 millimeters each step of the way. And, it was a long time request that we've been hearing.
Yeah.
And I love Mr. Akio Naito, the president of the company overall, gave a little teaser last year at some point, and he said on the way, which I think kind of blew our minds. And we didn't realize that maybe it was coming so soon, but we've been working on this for a long time. And the reality of it is a micro adjust is a great feature, but Grand Seiko has a really high, durability and longevity standard. And that was one of the primary, reasons why we wanted to engineer it right the first time. We're not going to make something that doesn't meet our standard in order just to come out with a market demand, product.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that we do it right the Grand Seiko way, of course, and that always does, unfortunately, take time. But we're here now. We introduced our first product with this micro adjustment, and I think people are really excited. On top of the ultra fine accuracy at 20 seconds per year, the smaller diameter that we briefly mentioned at 37.
I love that.
And also thinner at 11.4, and then now the micro adjustment. So it's like the trifecta of awesomeness in this watch.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, you have more questions about the micro adjust, though, because everyone's loving it.
Well, I think I was talking to one of the other guys at Grand Seiko, and I said the first thing everyone's talking about first is like, if you had a tier, it's like micro adjust first. Then they're like, whoa, this watch is accurate to 20 seconds a year. And then they realize, oh my God, and then it's a 37 millimeter. It's like, it starts from the micro adjust and then it just opens up all these other questions.
Yeah.
Last question on the micro adjust that I know everyone's asking is this micro adjust going to be available on other models or current models in the future? Do you have anything to add about that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a new product. We only have the one model for the foreseeable future. I don't think that we would invest so much into developing something that we would only use one time.
Sure.
So that, is a bright sign for the future. Now, one thing I do know is that we do have limited production capacity, not just, for the UFA caliber 9RB2, but also the clasp itself.
Yeah.
So that does create a bit of a predicament for us in how fast we can expand on its usage within our collection. So I think in time, you'll see more of it, but
I mean,
we'll see what the future holds, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super satisfied with the new case, the new movement, the new watch. I love that Grand Seiko did a 37 millimeter. I'm sure people will ask for 40 and other sizes, which I'm sure will come in the future as well.
Yeah, so we have the ice forest with this great, I mean, you can tell the emphasis on the craftsmanship in the dial itself. I think that all around the package that we have is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you like it. That's most important.
Of course. If I'm not mistaken, this texture is supposed to be representing the new dial, like the one behind us.
These are actually based on our indices.
Oh.
So it's a repetitive pattern of typically the 12 o'clock hour marker, like you would see on the snowflake.
Yes. Okay.
So,
amazing. Joe, thanks so much for your time.
thank you.
Congratulations
Great
to Grand
see you, Derek.
Seiko.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming.
And more to come at Watches and Wonders 2025.